My name is Anna Preston. You have probably seen me acolyting at some point, and some of you may even remember me standing on a step stool to read as an elementary schooler. Although I may still be in the pews from time to time when visiting from college, the chapter of me serving on the altar is coming to a close. This is a wonderful way to wrap up my time at St. Stephen's, and I'm thrilled to be able to give today's sermon. The collect of the day emphasizes God's unwavering ability to guide us in life. It reads, "O Lord, make us have perpetual love and reverence for your holy name, for you never fail to help and govern those whom you have set upon the sure foundation of your loving kindness." This is a very strong statement that oftentimes is questioned. Throughout history, people have been questioning this. The beauty of this is that no matter how unsure people feel, there are still so many people who hold on to their faith through the uncertainty. Faith is still believing even when you are having doubts, and God does not stop loving or helping those who feel doubt. 2 summers ago, I took a trip to Rome. I did all the normal tourist sightseeing. I saw the Colosseum, ate lots of gelato, and visited countless chapels and cathedrals, each seemingly more elaborate than the next. Of course, I visited the Sistine Chapel, which is arguably the most famous church in the world, and considered by some to be the pinnacle of Christianity and faith. As a tourist, I appreciated the art, finding the secret bishops on the ceiling that Michelangelo had turned into donkeys, and admiring the architecture. As a Christian, I did not feel any kind of connection. In fact, none of the intricately decorated churches we visited resonated with me. I did not expect that trip to become a spiritual experience for me, but then we visited the catacombs early one morning. For those who might not be familiar, the catacombs are underground tunnels where the earliest Christians in Rome came to worship Jesus, hold communion, and most importantly, bury fellow Christians during the Roman Empire, where Christianity was outlawed. They would be persecuted for practicing Christianity, so they had to do so in secret. Walking through the dark, nearly 2,000-year-old paths, seeing handmade altars and simple, faded paintings of Jesus moved me more than any grand mural. These people were not world-class artists or craftsmen. They simply wanted to worship God. What struck me the most was seeing rows and rows of hollowed-out spaces lining the walls where hundreds of Christians before me had been buried. I was incredibly moved by this raw, early form of Christianity and faith. These people were embodying Jesus' teachings and the collect of the day about perpetual love and reverence. Faith and doubt have always gone hand in hand. Even when Jesus was alive, his and God's love and ability to help was questioned. In today's gospel reading, Jesus' disciples did not trust that he would bring their boat to safety in the storm, asking, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" In response, Jesus calms the sea and the storm, and they have faith. I thought about how the people in the catacombs most certainly had their faith tested through all the persecution they were facing, and yet they found a way to worship. Although the early Christians in the catacombs were suffering, Christianity did eventually become legal. This was not as immediate of a change as calming a storm with one sentence, but it was still God helping and governing his people. I try to remind myself of this when I am struggling. God never fails to help, but it may not be immediate or straightforward. Recently, I have been overwhelmed with the thought of the future. All I have known is my childhood, and now that it is coming to a close, I feel I am the one on a tiny wooden boat braving the storm that is the unknown. The huge waves that are graduation, leaving my family behind in just 2 months, and starting an entirely new life, never stop crashing against my boat, sometimes feeling like the next wave will surely be the one to capsize me. In the midst of all the chaos, I still had my acolyting duties. Although some mornings my bed seemed more enticing than serving, I always left grateful that I had come, especially in these times of stress. A recent time I served, my mind was everywhere but St. Stephen's. I could feel my heart beating and a pit in my stomach as I sat on the altar looking at the stained glass window, trying to focus on the sermon. It was during communion that I felt a wave of relief. Coming to accept Jesus' body and blood and sharing that love calmed my storm. I had the chance to step out of my head and see how life is so very long and full, and that I have so much to look forward to. I enjoy seeing all generations of the congregation coming together, just as the early Christians in the catacombs came together to break bread over 1,000 years ago. The reassurance that I will be okay relaxed me for that day, and I felt so relieved. I think seeing people channeling God's love together was God's way of helping and guiding me. Although my anxiety was certainly not quelled for good, I was given a moment of peace and time to breathe. It is moments like this that I am forever grateful for the community St. Stephen's has given me. Whether it is receiving heartfelt compliments about my reading from others at coffee hour or shaking hands with someone during the peace, St. Stephen's is a place where you can take a time out from the million things going on in your life and rest. This is possible because of the love we all share. So, thank you everyone for making St. Stephen's the wonderful place it is. Thank you.